Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of your favorite midday NFL show on the internet, man. It is NFL schedule release week, and we've heard about a couple of games that have been announced already. In fact, I think that there's going to be another one announced later this afternoon. I'm very excited about it, but we have a lot of topics. And I will say that we probably will have a little bit of time for a Q&A segment to wrap the show once it is all said and done. But first, let's go around the table and see how the boys are doing. TD, what's up, man?
A beautiful day, schedule release week. I'm excited. I always love the schedule release, man. You get to break it down, what you think, especially with a team like the one that I cheer for, that have weather issues. I just can't wait, man. I want these leaks and all that. I don't know what I can believe and what I can't. So I'm just excited about it. Let's go.
And so the leaks, some official announcements. It's all here. Richie, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's good, everybody? Another episode of Fourth and Forever. It's the heart of the offseason, it feels, but this is a good week because we have rookie minicamp all wrapped up, and the NFL is finally releasing the schedules. No more leaks and stuff. And when the schedule releases, that's when the fun begins because you can get a really good idea of how the 2025 season is going to go.
The funny thing is that with the schedule release, it also opens up the Roundtable Events schedule as well, right? Now, all three of us are very hard at work. We're putting together the pieces, trying to put together a general skeleton of what the events in Buffalo, Miami, and New York are going to look like this year. And I know that Richie has a form of interest. If anybody wants to go ahead and put their cap in, then certainly let us know. Now, what we're going to do
real quick, let me just say something quick about that form, if you don't mind. That form is currently linked in the chat right now. It's also in the description if you guys did not see it yet. And what that will do is it will give you access to the pre-sale and all the priorities. So you right when we announce the game that we're picking, you guys will be able to get a direct email and a text right from us. And you also get access to the tickets before anybody else, before the public. So make sure you guys fill out the form. It is as easy as it can be. So shout out to everybody that has signed up the form.
Shout out to everybody that has signed out the form. And more than likely what we're going to do, especially since Dolphins fans ended up breaking our hearts last year. And honestly, we don't blame them because your team was terrible. I wouldn't have spent money on that either.
Wow.
I think what we're going to do is that we are going to have a threshold of deposits that need to be filled prior to us actually pulling the trigger. So say, for example, we get 50 to 60 tickets. We're probably going to have like a 30 to 40 that must be met as far as initial deposits. And if not, then we're probably going to take the event off of the table. So certainly keep that in mind, folks. Certainly keep that in mind. Have the form right here, as Richie is pointing out. And I'm very excited to meet all of you. I will be in Miami this year. I will be in Buffalo. I will be in New York.
We need Dan Mitchell there.
Always, man.
It's not an event without Dan. That's why Miami failed.
Oh,
exactly.
Man.
I think that was the case, man.
He probably would have brought us bad luck.
It's because it's the Dolphins, bro. The Dolphins brought us bad luck. Hosting an event in Miami is destined to fail, bro. They're a failed organization. All right.
No. We shall see. But anyway, let's go ahead and knock into some of these topics. First game was announced. The first Thursday night football matchup is between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Look at that, man. You know what? Like this Dallas Cowboys team, like had a quiet offseason per usual. But then they did make some moves during the drafts. All right. Interesting. What are your thoughts? Was this the perfect Thursday night football matchup for the league, Super Bowl champions versus a divisional opponent? Or would you have preferred something else? I'm talking to TD on this one.
You know what I like about opening night of football? Usually in the Super Bowl winning team plays, typically, is the fact that a lot of times they lose in that game. And it kind of opens the league up to say, okay, we all got hope. And Dallas is revamped. They got the running game. They got the receiving core. They got the quarterback going to be back healthy. The O-line is revamped. Defense doing things. Look out. This is going to be a stage setter. And if the Cowboys beat the Eagles in week 1, that sets the tone for the NFL because you know how the NFL, their golden child is the Dallas Cowboys, and all media outlets love to talk about them. So if that happens, it'll be huge for the NFL in general. But one thing I noticed, Dan, you were on TikTok, and you were doing a TikTok about the Bills Sunday Night Football opening week.
Yeah.
And I actually think that you're totally wrong on your opponent, and you might be playing someone that you're overlooking. And I think
they're not taking the Dolphins on Sunday night.
I think they do. I think they open up Bills Dolphins. I think it opened a lot of these division games prime time.
Yeah. So
is that the event then?
So the reason why that will work. So why I think it's going to be Sunday Night Football is that this morning, we were all thinking that Josh Allen was going to be on the Today Show. Mm-hmm. We thought that he was going to announce like Bills, Steelers in Ireland or something like that. But then what they did is that they then announced that Thursday night matchup between Dallas and Philly. And then the guy teased, hey, we are announcing the Sunday Night Football matchup on Wednesday. More than likely, Josh Allen's going to be a guest right on that show. So like you could like lockstep that Bills open up Sunday Night Football at home against somebody. I think the Ravens make the most sense for ratings purposes, right? But a sleeper, I wouldn't say the Dolphins. If anything, it might be the New England Patriots because they have a brand new head coach, number one. And then while I don't necessarily agree with this take, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Drake May, is he the next coming to Josh Allen? Like, so I think it's going to be between the Ravens and or the Patriots. It could be against the Bengals, but I don't think that they're going to do that to the Bengals, especially since historically, and they always have the slowest starts right to the regular season as humanly possible. So I think the most competitive would probably be Bills Ravens week 1. Richie, thoughts on the Thursday night matchup and just some of these leaks that are coming out?
Yeah, I think it's a great Thursday night game. Divisional opponent to start it all out. I think a divisional game to start off the season is definitely in line with why you got to keep the structure the way that it is. Division winners get a home playoff game. Just saying. But now, all jokes aside, I'm excited for it. I think that everyone's sleeping on the Cowboys, man. I think everybody is counting them out. Everyone was wondering where they're going to go in terms of week 1, Eagles. Don't they have a game Friday? Don't they usually do that too? Like last year was Brazil. Are they doing a Brazil game this year on Friday again?
Yes, they are. It's Chiefs and Chargers on Friday Night Football.
The first week?
First week.
So Thursday we got Dallas Eagles, which is nice. Then Chiefs Chargers, which is beautiful.
TD's getting ready for football, man. He's ready to go.
Man, I love it. Listen, and the Dolphins beat the Bills on Sunday night.
Sunday night. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be pinned against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
and so they're nemesis on week 1.
It's between the good teams taking on the Bills. Why would they put the Dolphins in that? Like, why are you trying to put the Dolphins in the same category as the Bengals and the Ravens? Like,
you're a hater, man. We're gonna shock.
I'm not a hater, bro. Like, why would the NFL want? The only reason why they would is for the division rivalry. That's it.
So let me ask you guys this, right? Because we have a Jets fan, we have a Dolphins fan, great on this panel here. Like, who would you ideally, Richie? Like, what team that is on your list of opponents in 2025? What would be a dream of yours to play on week 1? Like, who's like your ideal week 1 opponent?
I have the perfect week 1 opponent.
Oh, talk to me.
You better be
1
careful.
o'clock on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Give me the New England Patriots. Okay. I think the Jets and the Patriots are in very similar boats from a brand new, fresh beginning of regimes. And I think what better week 1 of first-year head coach Aaron Glenn versus first-time Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. And I think that I want that because I know the whole world is going to expect the Patriots to win. And I love that. And I want to go out there and prove the world wrong. And I know week 1 is always a lie, but it would feel good to talk about the Patriots for a whole summer. Everybody to pick the Patriots to win the game, and then for the Jets to go out there and ball out. So that's the team I want. But I will say, if Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler, which at this point is just who knows, it's going to be Jets Steelers Monday Night Football. Week 1. Come on. I mean,
Jets Steelers.
They may just put that on there just in case.
I got a nice
third straight year the Jets are on Monday night.
I got one for you, Dan.
All right, go ahead.
Which I'm shocked this isn't going to be a topic to talk about. This what's going on over there anyway. It might be. Give me Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders, Browns Titans.
Really?
For what?
I think that'll be a nice little thing. Everybody want to see Cam Ward first game.
Sunday Night Football? Nah.
Shedeur's going to start, first of all. I'm going to tell you that now.
That, if anything, they're not getting Sunday night. Sunday night is only for good teams. Monday Night Football, maybe.
Man, that'll bring more ratings than two good teams.
Nah, dude. Nah, TD. Usually, you're onto something. They always put those teams like that with the 2 rookies on a Thursday night game in week 3 or 4. I don't think they would do that for week 1.
I don't know, man. I mean, the pool.
And Shedeur ain't starting week 1. Come on.
Yeah,
see the rookie mini game, Richie? You see him?
Yeah, it is.
Where'd you see it? From Roundtable Sports account? Is that where you saw
that's right.
Sanders post?
That's right. Roundtable Sports on top of the Shedeur Sanders coverage, baby.
Speaking of which, right? Like we saw several rookie mini camps so far, right over the weekend. Who stood out to you? And because honestly, man, I saw a couple of passes from Shedeur and stuff, and the one that really went viral was when he threw some duck. Right off to the sideline and stuff. And people were
you ain't seen them all, Dan. They got at least 20 clips.
So how would you rate your first taste of Shedeur right in the NFL? Based off of some of these clips we're looking at right now.
Why is he wearing number 12? Is he really trying to be Brady?
They asked him if he was gonna buy number 2. And he made a joke about it because he was number 2. He said, "No, I can't pay for a jersey number. My signing bonus wasn't large enough."
It's true.
He said my signing bonus wasn't large enough.
Yeah, that's what first round picks do, man. You can't do that if you're a 5th round pick. That would be great. Even though he has the money, though.
He said, "No, my signing bonus wasn't built for that."
So one of the weirdest stories coming out. Let me double check and make sure that this hasn't been resolved. Hold up. Bear with me. I am just doing a quick little search of what it is. Okay. First round pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, Shemar Stewart, has been sitting out of mandatory rookie camp because he has not received a contract that he thinks he deserves. Thoughts on this? A rookie holding out from rookie minicamp for not getting a contract that he thinks is fair. I'm start off with Richie.
Let's hear from Mr. Stewart on his side of the equation.
Go ahead.
Paid in mini camp today.
I just decided not to sign those papers.
Do you anticipate signing your contract before Monday to join the team, or you're not sure when that's going to come together?
I would hope so. I mean, I would love to be a part of the team. I'd be on the sideline just looking at everybody else do work.
Say how tough it is for you.
Yeah, especially on the first day, it was kind of tough on me.
You're part of the meetings? Are you doing other things as part of this?
Oh yeah, I'm doing everything else. I'm just on the field stuff. I'm not doing it.
Thoughts, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad look, to be honest. You know how many times the Jets draft picks, they don't get their contract until training camp?
Mm-hmm.
They always participate in rookie minicamp.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something weird going on with these agents that are just trying to get their ways in certain. Have you ever heard of the concept offset language?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is always about. And it happened with the Jets with Sam Darnold. I remember it took so long for him to sign his contract. It just happens, but they always participate in rookie minicamp. They usually hold out maybe OTAs, or if it goes into training camp, they'll hold out. But rookie minicamp, that's not a good look.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Richie said, the offset language in the contract. This is the difference between, if you're on a roster on this day, this happens or that happens. that like there's a lot of nuances in a contract that a lot of people don't know about. Like do you still get your money if this happens? Do you still get your money if that happens? Oh, well, we have the right to do this, that. It's all type of things that are negotiated. Some people just sign it and have no idea. But yeah, it looks like his agent is explaining to him the ins and outs of it, and they're not liking all the mumbo jumbo in the contract. So, hey, but when has it never worked out? When has it never not been situated? It will be like everything else.
Yeah. So it's funny because he was one of my first professional, the athlete interviews, right? So he's a friend of the show, right? And so I was talking to his dad about potentially coming on the show and having an interview a few months ago. So I feel some type of way about this. However, I'm going to have to go on ahead and side with him. All right, because you know what? This goes to show you that the Cincinnati Bengals are cheap as hell. They are cheap, and they hate giving defensive players contracts, which is a perfect segue into a Trey Hendrickson update. Shout out to our intern on Roundtable Sports, because full transparency, boys, that news was broken to me from Roundtable Sports. I did not see it from any other source at all. It came from our Twitter account. So shout out to the intern, because this is the first time I saw the news for myself. And it sounds like Trey Hendrickson, again, has had zero communication, which is insane, because we saw this exact same quote before the NFL draft about a month or so ago when he went on the Pat McAfee show. And it sounds like they are nowhere closer. And despite that, they haven't even had a conversation. No communication has taken place in between my camp and the organization post-draft.
Man.
And the offers prior to the draft did not reflect the vision we shared and were promised last offseason if I continued to play at a high level. And I think all of us watching right now can agree that he lived up to his end of the bargain. It sounds like Cincinnati's hands are tied, since 33.6% of their cap space is tied with 3 players on the offense. TD, thoughts on the Trey Hendrickson fiasco that has been dominating the majority of this offseason?
I think, I believe it's true now. We've gotten to a point to where I guess it's true that they don't like paying people.
They don't, dude. They're cheap.
Like their
cheap.
owner does not like, the guaranteed money, the signing bonus portion that he has to come out of pocket for, which is always recouped based off of the shared revenue. But this is tough, man. This is hurting their stock in players wanting to be a Bengal. The same thing goes with what happened in Pittsburgh recently. What's his name, the receiver that just got traded?
George Pickens.
Yeah, he came out crying about they're cheap. They don't want to, re-sign their player. This isn't a long-term good look for organizations that do this. Now, you don't like the player, you move on from him, whatever. But there ain't nothing about Hendrickson not to like. So this is just a case of them being cheap. They got to figure this out. How you not have any communication like this man playing with y'all? See, this is why I tell Richie, this is why I be saying what I be saying. You got to do what's best for you. Sit out. Sit out. You're a great pass rusher. Sit out. Demand a trade while you're at it. Demand a trade. Get out of there, man.
And
you know who else is being cheap is the chat. We got to get some more like buttons smashed, man. Let's get the 100 likes. Hit the like button. Takes 2 seconds.
I think that we could lock in right now. 142 of you are live with us watching on Monday for another episode of Fourth and Forever. Folks, if this is your first episode, when you subscribe, make sure you turn on bell notifications, because as you will know, we will eventually shift over into a Q&A segment, and we want all of you to be a part of that as we do each and every single live show. Richie, thoughts on Trey Hendrickson not only not getting a contract, but not even having a single conversation with the damn organization? Bad look or what?
Yeah, I think it's a terrible look for the situation. I think it's going to get ugly before it gets pretty. I don't know if he's going to show up. I mean, I do know he's not showing up with no contract.
He's not.
Yeah, he's not going he's not. So it's either the Bengals got to make a very simple decision. 2 options. sign him or trade him. There's no in between. He's not playing without a contract. And if you don't want to pay him, you trade him. I think it's just that simple. So that's my thoughts of it. Shout out to Hennessy Heisman, the first dono of the show. Big shout out to Hennessy Heisman. $5 hair says, everyone hyping up Drake May like his name is Jaden Daniels. Facts, bro. Give me the damn Patriots week 1, and I know I will be in attendance. Let's go. Facts, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone's like, oh, the Patriots winning 12 games. 12 games. 11 games with who?
Who said 12?
Oh my God!
People are
Bring
out there,
Bob to NYC, Dan. I have a gift for him. We have Tony. So you know what, man? I think that might be interesting. I'm gonna have to look into how I can ship Bob up into some of the events this year.
Dude, you got to bring Bob on the road.
I probably could bring Bob on the road.
You can like monetize it, be like, give us $1 and you'll be able to punch Bob.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, absolutely.
$1 per punch.
Beat the shit out of Bob for $1.
You want to hit a double? Yeah. That's $2.
Or some photo ops, man.
Uppercut is $3
for a photo op. Yeah, doing photo ops with Bob, man. Holy hell, man. You know what, dude? Listen, you are just making our business gears absolutely turn right now. But all right, folks, listen, we are dangerously close to switching over to the Q&A segment portion of the show. Again, so we can easily decipher between questions, statements, and internal conversations between chatters. Please do us a favor and label them appropriately. Have a Q at the beginning of each and every single question, an S in front of each and every single statement. So that way we can ensure that we have a pleasant listening and post-watch experience for anybody that didn't have the opportunity of joining live. Thank you so much. I did want to discuss George Pickens right before we dive into the Q&A segment by itself. Yeah, dude, he did take to social media and he called the Steelers the cheapest organization in the NFL. And he says he will not be the last one. They are just going to let all of their talent eventually walk away. Here's my thought on this. Did the Steelers dodge a bullet for walking away from this wide receiver? Right? Like, would you consider him to be a locker room cancer? I feel like the most objective person probably would say the same thing based off of what he has been saying. TD, go ahead.
I just feel like that's so unfair, man. You know, it's so easy today in the league to label somebody a problem or an issue in the locker room. And maybe it's just me, because maybe y'all know of a history of Pickens that I don't, but is this common for him? Is it like drama or something?
He has like a lot of gaffes and stuff like that, especially with the fights that he gets right into in training camp, right? Like he's been in a couple of fist fights in training camp with his own teams. Like he's regularly butting heads with opposing DBs. He had like a few interviews and stuff like that where he just, I don't know, right? So just look into it. But
yeah,
if you were to ask me, I feel like he's not good for a locker room.
I mean, is he a good player? Is he in the locker room? Is he in the locker room telling people to do bad things? Is he like, has he been out there, you know, just openly bashing everybody? I mean, I just don't get it. If a guy has a problem because, hey, I don't like my contract, that's business. Or I don't like this. They're allowed to do this, but only certain players we kind of, they're a problem. Oh, why is he asking, you know? And don't get me wrong. Like, we'll look at a player and be like, remember the Bryce Huff situation?
Yeah.
We'll look at a player and say, he hadn't done anything for us, right? We're like, gosh. Yeah, we look at him as that's a problem, but that's business. That's business. You know, so that's where I'm at with it. I think they made a mistake. You don't get rid of a weapon. What weapons do they have now?
DK.
Is that it?
Just about, yeah.
Like I'm shocked Mike Tomlin would do this, and here's why. This is a year where you need to get over a hump. And having a two-headed monster is important in this league today. Everybody's starting to get them. So, like, I thought DK and like both of them together would have been amazing, especially for Aaron Rodgers. But now it's like, okay, you got DK. What's the difference between every other team that had him?
So I look at all the draft capital rate so that they have next year, and they are loaded, especially within the first 4 rounds next year in 2026. I'm not going to go out ahead and say that I think Tomlin's going to tank, but I think this season might have been like, all right, I feel like I'm going to take advantage of a more talented class going into 2026. Richie, did the Steelers dodge a bullet from getting George Pickens off of the books? Or was it a mistake? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think George Pickens he's perfect for the Cowboys. I think that's a culture that he will be able to fit into where he can kind of express himself. There's not going to be a lot of, you got Micah Parsons over there, a loud personality. They let him do his thing off the field. CeeDee Lamb's kind of more quiet, but I think he has a chance. The Cowboys are probably one of the most, how do I put this? One of the teams that nobody's talking about that actually is good. Like the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, is a very good football team, but no one even brings them up in any like realness. Right. And I understand why. They don't make any impact in the playoffs. Dak's coming off another injury. There's reasons behind that. So we'll see. But I think it was a good trade for Dallas. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, I don't know what their plan is.
Oh, man. We shall see. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the Q&A segment, man. One of my personal favorites. Let's get into it. Talk to me. Way too early record predictions for the AFC East.
Should we save that for the schedule release? I feel like that's when we're going to do that.
I feel like we should. I feel like we definitely should, right? And like one of my favorite memories.
But the schedule changes it. I mean, we can give early one.
It does, right? Like one of my favorite memories last year was when we were reacting to the Patriots schedule, right? And Colby was on the channel, and then TD just starts dying. And he goes, Colby, I'm not going to lie to you. He says, I don't see a win on the entire left side. And he starts going
Colby
crazy.
was flabbergasted. He's like, you don't know ball.
Yeah.
You know what? We need to find that clip because I want to see if they had a win on that left side.
Yeah. We're gonna have to.
They did.
We're gonna have to see. I think they like managed to skirt a couple, but
not on the left side.
But for the most part, I do think you were right. Yeah, man. Listen,
I remember that very well.
So the AFC East Roundtable. The AFC East Roundtable will be having our live schedule release party where we end up giving record predictions, hot takes, the whole.
Well, that connects real quick to Glenn because Glenn actually asked that question. Will the AFC East Roundtable be on after release or during? I think the Knicks play Wednesday night. So Wednesday night's going to be a very interesting night for me. The AFC East Roundtable is going to be live at 8:30 p.m. right after the schedule release. And yes, it's Knicks Celtics game 5 that night. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty hectic night for me because I'm going to be on the AFC's Roundtable. The Knicks, for me, yes, for me. While watching the Knicks game, while talking Jet schedule, I'm going to be the most multitasking person.
Oh, you brought up the Knicks. Oh.
No, Glenn did. Glenn did.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it up, Glenn. What did I tell y'all on Friday? Boston gonna win the next 2 on the road. Y'all think they phased by losing 2 at home? Y'all better stop playing with me, man. Y'all know what time it is.
See, this is what you do. You win 1 game, and this is what you...
Richie, you know y'all losing tonight.
We win tonight. We defended home court, baby.
So the game is tonight, but it's should be good because we want to make sure that we have as many people in that show as possible. So
I already scheduled it.
So I know myself, I will be streaming live on my channel as it actually gets released. I'm going to be talking to everybody, and then I'm going to shift over all the Bills fans over to it. Hopefully the same thing with TD and then also with Colby. And we should have a hell of a show. So mark your damn calendars, folks. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Which division in the NFL could be a sleeper division to send teams to the playoffs/championship? That's a great question, Jake, the Minnesota sports fan. For me, I wouldn't even necessarily say that it's a sleeper because they had 2 teams from it last year. 3 teams, actually. I'd probably have to say the AFC West is interesting for me, right? Because we saw Denver get very good. Same thing with the Chargers. Both were playoff teams last year. Both got significantly better during this offseason. So as long as they all stay healthy, I could definitely see the Chiefs, Chargers, and of course the Broncos making the playoffs and all three of them having double-digit wins. That stands out.
So how about a sleeper?
I got one.
I feel like a sleeper for me would be the NFC West because their schedule's really easy.
Sam Darnold.
The sleeper,
really easy over in the NFC West. Go ahead.
The sleeper is the NFC East by far.
Not really. They were.
Yes, it is.
The two teams in the NFC East were in the conference championship.
And they're going to send 3 this year.
He's hanging out with the Cowboys to have a damn year.
The Cowboys are back, man.
It's not as crazy as you think.
This is why the NFC is going to be a madhouse. The NFC North has 3, maybe even 4. We'll see what the Bears do. But they have all those teams with a possibility. The NFC East, only the Giants out. But those 3 teams. The NFC is going to be
the Giants. You want to see the Giants schedule? Or their opponents, rather?
From what?
Oh, it's rough.
Look at. Tell me somebody quote tweeted the Giants schedule, and it's like the Giants are not winning one home game.
Wow.
Tell me the Giants are winning a home game.
Oh, yikes! Yikes!
San Francisco, they only hope.
And that ain't God. A good one.
Yeah,
0-8 at home.
That's tough.
Oh my God.
I don't know, dude. Jackson Dart's spinning the ball before he throws it. You see it?
I'll tell you what. When Dart has been darting. All right, listen. Dart's been throwing darts, man. He really has been. But then again,
I hate that he's a Giant, bro. I want to be like on the dart train.
They said they killed him for failure with this schedule. What's the next one, Richie? The Aways.
Yeah, we see the Aways for the Giants, man. This is rough. I'm not gonna lie, this is rough.
Raiders, Saints.
So never mind. I honestly think this team is.
Hey, they might have the number 1 pick again. They might have the number 1 pick.
I think they might be the number 1 pick candidate here, because right now all I'm seeing is 2 wins, and that's even a stretch. Because don't sleep on Geno Smith and the Raiders. You go out there and punish them up a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be the toilet bowl. Saints and Giants.
Yeah, but come on. We also have to put this in consideration. Upsets happen. Like, we can't look at every single better team than them.
Yeah, but Richie, this is why I don't subscribe to that upsets happen.
But they do every year, though.
But but here's the point. They happen both ways. That's why I always offset that. You could say, oh, well, the Dolphins playing the Chiefs. Oh, upsets happen. The Dolphins might win. But the Chiefs playing the Dolphins, upsets, it could go both ways. So you can lose to a team you're supposed to beat. You could beat a team.
Yeah, but my point is this: look at this entire schedule. You can argue that there's the only team that's on the same level as them is the Saints, but they can upset the Chargers in a game. They can get the Vikings.
They can't upset no Chargers, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that happens. You're making it seem like crazy upsets don't happen every year when a really bad team beats a really good team. The Jets beat the undefeated Eagles somehow 2 years ago. No, like, you know what I mean? Like, weird things happen.
It was a giveaway game.
Man.
Come on, give me my credit.
Actually, let's go with Zach right here. With Carr retirement, what's the over-under with the Saints wins? And do you think Arch Manning goes to the Saints with his grandpa being a past Saint? So again, I think the biggest debate here is whether or not that Arch is going to go to the NFL next year, and he's not going to like to wait until 2027. So I think it all depends on how he plays. Say, for example, Arch goes out there and he leads the team far into the college football playoffs and he's a Heisman finalist. He definitely should enter the NFL. Why risk an injury? Yeah, for sure. I feel like what a good conversation to have here is, would the Saints potentially make a move for the Aaron Rodgers of the world or trade for Kirk Cousins rather than starting with Tyler Shuck this year? I think that's like a large question mark. It's great because Kellen Moore has a long leash. It's his first year. So I think he could afford to go out and win 2 to 3 games and go for a quarterback next year. It just depends on what Arch decides to do, right?
The epitome of a poverty franchise, bro.
The Saints. Yeah.
Yes.
It's tough.
Like, oh my gosh.
They knew that they knew go.
But they knew about Derek Carr's injury before the draft.
Yeah.
So whether he was going to retire or not was irrelevant. they knew about this injury, and you said that you felt good with those two quarterbacks leading the organization this year. Stop it. Like, this is like, oh my gosh, if I'm a Saints fan, I'm just depressed. Like, and you talk about Shadur Sanders, like, I don't care if it was the 4th round. Why didn't you just get somebody who you think that might have even had at least a chance to be effective? This is crazy. So,
it's nuts.
Yeah, between them and the Giants, they're going to have the highest odds for the first overall pick.
That's what you got, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Saints, there's really not a lot to look forward to. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see anybody. Like, I'm trying to pull up their schedule. Saints 2025 opponent. They're a team that just has nothing going for them. That's how I look at it. Like, when you look at the Saints, what do they have? They got Chris Olave, great stud, but what happened? He has a concussion issue. So, I mean, I don't know what. Am I missing something? What about the Saints? Is there something to keep an eye on? Here they're home opponents. I mean, you know, they can beat the Giants or getting killed by the Jets. And Cardinals, you know, the road games, that's a win. So what about the Saints is a positive? Every bad team has a strength to their team. Do the Saints have anything?
I don't know. I mean,
Alvin Kamara, I feel like he's past his prime now. They're in cap hell. I think the cap's finally catching up to them where they used to be able to avoid it and still win. But
so on paper, so on paper, I'd say as long as Olave is like healthy and still Olave, and then Shaheed, I suppose a semi-decent like wide receiver room, like solid weapons, skill position players, I would say.
Yeah, his concussion thing is a real deal, real problem.
He still could potentially be traded at some point too.
Think so?
It's not completely
to the Jets, right?
I mean, wherever. Yeah, wherever. You know
I'm down, bro. Come home to the Jets, baby. The Jets, the Ohio State Jets.
Woo. Oh, man, we have Jake, the Minnesota fan, saying, what teams outside of your own would you root for this season? So root's a strong word, but like what teams would I be happy to see succeed, right? So I'll tell you what. So the bandwagon I am hopping on this year, and so I do it each and every single year. Last year was the Lions. I was really high on the Lions last year. I've switched allegiances in the same division. I'm very high on the Chicago Bears this year. I'm really high on the potential of what they did with their offensive line, added even more weapons with Ben Johnson taking over as play caller, head coach, solid defensive moves too. Would make me happy to see the city of Chicago actually see a 4,000-yard passer, right? Because it's funny because they did get a Pope right before they achieved that, which is pretty hysterical. However, yeah, I'd say Chicago. I'm hopping on that bandwagon this year. Who is your? Maybe it's the Panthers too. Richie, go ahead. Who is yours, man? What team would you like to see succeed this year outside of your own?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a team that I root for outside of the Jets, like ever. I think it's more individual players than it is teams.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
With Sam Darnold over there. I obviously have grown to be known as the Sam Darnold guy, and I think that he has a chance to prove the doubters wrong all over again. And I'm excited for that opportunity. I think people are underestimating not only Sam, but the situation he's in around him. And I think a lot of people gave the credit around Sam rather than Sam himself in Minnesota. Go look at his weaponry in Seattle right now. Cooper Kupp they added with JSN, who's an absolute stud. Kenneth Walker, great running back. They got a solid offensive line. They got a system there that's proven to work. They got some pieces on defense. If there was a team, it's Seattle. And I got to admit, I did have a soft spot for Seattle back in the Russell Wilson Legion of Boom days. I love the Seahawks back then, bro. Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner. I love that with Marshawn Lynch. Like, that was the team. The Jets were terrible, and I was young. So I'm like, I got to attach myself to some type of energy over here. So that's probably the team, Seattle.
It's all right, TD. So what team outside of the Dolphins would you like to see do well?
Whatever
Like, not
team
necessarily
Ryan
root
Tannehill
for.
signs.
So, but what bandwagon are you hopping on this year?
The Browns.
I'm
for
hopping
sure
on the Brown. I'm hopping on the Browns bandwagon.
I know.
Minus the game we play them, of course, because Shadur Sanders is going to end up starting, and I want to see
love
him
the Browns.
succeed
I'm
because
just realizing it, man. First it was Deshaun Watson. Now they get Shadur.
I want to see him succeed because I believe he can. And I love what he said this weekend. The reporters asked him, "Are you out to prove everybody wrong?" And he said, "I'm not out to prove anybody wrong. I'm out to prove myself right."
Oh,
That's right. Bars.
Oh man! All right, man. We have
Damn,
time.
Shador fan now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, we have
That
time
was
for one more.
smooth witted there. That was smooth witted there.
Oh, dude, it was smooth, man. I like that. I like that quite a bit. All right, we have Carter has come in saying breakout candidate for each of your teams. I'm gonna start off with TD on this one, man. Who's the breakout candidate for the Miami Dolphins this year? Tua?
Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers. Let's go, baby. You know the sad thing is I really don't have a breakout candidate. It would have to be somebody like Quinn Ewers if they got an opportunity to start, because everybody else I already know what I'm going to get from them. I know what I'm going to get from the rookie at guard. He's going to play great. Kenneth Grant is already going to be great. That's not breaking out to me. I already know he is. Quinn Ewers, when he gets his opportunity to play, I think he'll ball out.
Interesting. All right, Richie, what do you got?
Malik Washington too. Malik Washington. There we go. I got one. Yeah.
Malik Washington. All right. What you got,
better than Garrett Wilson.
I definitely think it's a cop-out answer, but I think if there was anybody to break out with the Jets, it is the quarterback of Justin Fields, just because he is the guy that needs to break out for us to have a successful season. It's a make-or-break year for his career. He knows that. And you can say, oh, this player on the offense. No one is going to break out before Justin Fields breaks out. Garrett Wilson's still going to be a stud. He's proven that. No matter who's his quarterback, he's still a very, very good receiver in this league. Breece Hall's got to definitely level up his game. Now he's got a phenomenal offensive line and a dual threat at quarterback, so he could finally break out to the level that we expect him to be. But it's Justin Fields, man, and I think that he has and I love what Aaron Glenn said about Fields. He said that he has this quiet confidence to him, right? And whenever he opens up his mouth, it means something. He's not someone that talks a lot, but when he does talk, you have to listen. And I think that Fields has this moxie about him that I kind of like. He's not loud. He's not out there. He's humble. And he has this quiet confidence that he's going to go prove the doubters wrong. And I think that's going to work in his favor. And listen, I'm not sitting here predicting a Justin Fields breakout party, but I don't think anybody in the offense can break out unless he does.
Oh, interesting. For me, I'd probably say Josh Palmer. He was largely a wide receiver 3 right over at the LA Chargers, but his route tree is there. He's still young. He's 25 years old. He has great hands. So I think that he was just in a crowded room, and I think him being implemented right into the offense is going to work wonders, and he's going to double his production. It's going to be really, really good for this offense. Next up, sleeper candidate. I'd probably have to go with a gentleman by the name of Derek Forrest. He was a safety over at the Washington Commanders who excelled in coverage about 3 years ago. Final year of Ron Rivera. But then he ended up getting hurt in Ron Rivera's final year, and then he ends up coming back, rehabbing his injury when Dan Quinn took over, and Dan Quinn never really utilized him. I'm very high on Derek Forrest this year, not only to make the 53-man roster, but also be starting opposite of whoever our strong safety is. I'm very high on this prospect. Hopefully Dalton Kincaid, but we shall see. We shall see, man. You know what? It's schedule release week. And as we have mentioned, we are going to be having a very special episode on the AFC East Roundtable. I can only imagine everybody that's tuning into this show is subscribed to that channel as well. If not, please make sure you do so and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out on the episode. 8:30 p.m. EST, half hour after all of the schedules are released. We're obviously going to have quite a bit to unpack. But TD, please tell the audience your goodbyes, wish your farewells, and any final messages you have for them. Go ahead.
Bye. Farewell. Final
Wow.
message. No, listen,
Cool.
we'll see y'all tomorrow. So it's not bye. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Y'all have an amazing evening watching the Celtics beat up on the Knicks. All right. Parental advisory warning. Don't let the kids watch. It's gonna be a bloodbath. It ain't even gonna be good. But yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in on Fourth and Forever.
Good God. What do you got, Richie?
Yeah, man. If you guys want to come watch my live reaction, I'll be live on Knicks Media as I always do. Won't be able to do my live reaction for Game 5 on Wednesday. So definitely pull up tonight's show. Would appreciate it, guys. And we'll be live on Fourth and Forever yet again tomorrow. Same time, same place, baby.
Let's go. Yes,
Yeah,
let's go. Watch party tonight. I'll see you, Richie.
Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Fourth and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Peace.
Hit the like button on your way out.